Oh my god. Okay. Maybe not so much. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Let's show you how I should have done that. What's up, people? It's your boy Jatwa. I'm here today in Kerbal Space Program, and we are going to play around with some propellers, some HAL units, and we're going to show you how I build these tiny things, these tiny rigs, so you can utilize them in some of your adventures. I'm going to go ahead and show you why I use this torque and RPM on separate HAL units. This is because I like to be able to control these separately. So all you have to do to edit these in order to get your different speeds in, if you go here and you select your controllers, in this instance I have one called RPM and I have another one called torque, and that's here. This is RPM and this one is called torque. I just renamed them by going up here, clicking here, and naming them accordingly. So now what you want to do is make sure that you have your rotor in here. So in this instance I already have my rotor set to the torque for torque, and RPMs is for RPM. Now I reset this one so I can show you how to edit this. All you do is click on Open Track Editor, and then you click on the one you want to edit, and let's go and click on this node back here, and then drag it all the way up to the top. You can also enter in the number values, and if you ever wanted to add in additional ones, just double click on the line and you can actually add in different values anywhere. So in case you wanted to have different values at different attack points, you can. We can now go to RPM and make sure our RPM is configured properly, and it's not. Once again, we're going to click on rotor, we're going to go here, and just to show you an alternate method, we're going to click on 100, and you see that is not the same as torque. These have different max values. So this one, if you drag it all the way to the top, you see the max value is 460. So at any given time you can go 300, you can go 100, or you can go 460, and it's going to go all the way to the top for you. And now you know your as you move your play point, it's going to coincide with your rotor. What I like to do is control these separately, because I could add my torque in here, and I could set this to just 7, and I could come here and say this is only 7 or 7, and so no matter what happened it would stay at 7 as I move this up, and then I could control it with just my main throttle. Well, I don't want to do that because I want to be able to tweak my torque on the fly so I can see how well it reacts at different locations. Everything I fly is a test. So we need propellers, and we're going to set our propellers on here. So let's go to aerodynamics. Let's grab our propeller type A. This propeller type is the smallest propeller that you can get right now. So we're going to use this in order to get ourselves off the ground. And we're just going to take this. I'm actually going to slide this down, because this one is great, but 2 blades gives you more power, and we're just going to show you how this works. So we're going to go to custom one. I'm going to click on my propeller blades. I'm going to set it to toggle deploy because I don't want to have to fuss with that anymore. And let's take this for a test fly with just one set of propellers. So we have our test rig 1, it's ready to go, and we're just going to click over here, and we're going to pull our RPMs to this side, and we're going to grab here, and we're going to grab our torque and throw it over here. Everything's nice, it's pinned, it's ready to go. Deploy our propellers, press F12, get the dog hair out of my mouth because I was petting my dog. How did that get in there? And we're going to now set this. My normal torque setting is usually 7. That's usually where I go to because I found that that's about as low as I can go. The more torque, the more EC you're going to use. If you're using one RTG or solar panels, this is very important to keep your torque low. So let's go ahead and start to spin everything up. And you see our propellers right now are set to deploy normal. And we're just going to spin everything up. And pay close attention to each of these purple nodes here that you see flying around, these indicators, because they're showing you what's going on. You're not going anywhere right now. So let's go ahead and take this on back to the drawing board and see if we can get this to lift off. Here we are, we're ready to rock. So let's go ahead and bring out our controllers once again. This is a little bit of setup each time. You may, and if you can actually hone in on what your torque would be, you can actually set that and then you don't have to look at this anymore. But for me, this is what I tend to do, just so I can adjust on the fly. So let's go and go to 7, and then let's bring up our aerodynamic and let's start to spin things up. And you see it's going to slowly get us going. That yellow pointing up, that's good. Almost good enough to lift off. Now we're going to lower this back down because as you can see here, we have counter forces going on. So let's see if we set this to inverted. And there you go. And we're going up ever so slightly. And when I do this, I am actually always looking at my vertical speed because I need to make sure that I am not going to do anything crazy here. So we could just angle this over and then ever so gently start to get ourselves aimed forward. So this is a really nice craft that would be able to take us places, and it's very compact. As you can see, there's a bit of a problem, is that the torque is spinning us. We don't want that necessarily, so this would of course be a problem. This is where counter props come into play. As you see here, the bottom props are currently inverted, the top props are set to normal. This gives us the thrust that we need to lift off. It looks all wrong, but it actually works. You really do not want to mirror these as much as possible. I say that because it can cause you quite a few headaches in the long run, unfortunately. If you can use an attachment point and use that to do your mirroring, quote unquote. But the more mirroring I do, the more headaches I tend to receive. We're just going to take these and put these here. Now what we can do is set this to single, grab the first one, put that one here, grab the second one, and put it here. Now we have two separate ones. This one's inverted, this one's normal, this one's inverted, this one's normal. Problem is, this one we want to reverse. So we're going to invert the direction for the rotor, and then we're going to actually switch our direction for our propellers. So now this one, the rotor is set to inverted, the propeller is set to normal on the bottom with the connection points, and the one connected to the surface is set to inverted, which is just the opposite of our normal spinning rotor. Our inverted bottom attachment point propeller and our normal direction deploy for our surface connected propellers. And let's take this for a test run after we balance the craft. You may get something like this though. This can be a massive headache. What you can do is just try to get the center of your bubbles together, and if you can do that, you should be okay. So you need to add in your RPMs here, and you need to add in your torque here, and you need to adjust you can adjust this really quickly by hitting copy and then paste. So that's one set. Let's do the same with our RPMs. And we just want to copy this one and paste this one down here. Alright, test rig 1 is ready to rock. Alright, so let's go ahead and get all this out. Let's here, drop this down here, and we're going to go back up to 7. We're going to bring out our power so we can always monitor that, and then we're going to spin everything up and make sure everything's going the right way. Sometimes it can be a little tricky. Alright, and here we go. We have liftoff. Very gentle, controlled liftoff, and that is what we're shooting for. So if I knock this down to 3.2, we come back down, bring it back to 3.3, and we have a nice gentle liftoff forward. So this is a really nice and easy craft that one could build. All you have to do is throw some wings on there, and this baby's ready to fly. You see no more issues with the rotation because we are counterprop. So this is basically how I build my really tiny crafts. And we're just gonna go really close, gently near the water, just because. And I snuck up to 3.3 by mistake, the 3.4 by mistake there. A gentle tap on the water, and then we get out of there. So now you want to get fancy. Let's go ahead and add on another HAL controller, and we're going to put this back here, and you'll see why. Grab another grip pad. Now, for these grip pads are invaluable, but at the same time they can be a little troublesome to work with. So just get used to using surface attached with them. Alright, so let's go ahead and rotate this one up and over, and this is going to give us a nice little bump pad. Okay, so we have that nice little connection now back to our main core, and now we can actually use that to place these on. That's going to act as our lift as well as our yaw control to make sure we don't get too far out of control here. So let's take these, and we're going to make little bump pads real quick out of these to make sure if we fall over that nothing's going to happen to our craft. And we're just going to make that round. These are very, very light, so don't feel shy using them. As you can see here, 0.002. Very, very light, because this is the lightest one, 0.001. This one's 0.002, so there you go. I'm getting beyond myself. It's actually lighter than these science parts. Take 2 of these and put these on the sides here, and then it could rotate up, rotate down, and it's not really moving too far, which is really nice. So here's the catch, is that once we snap these on, it's going to mess up our rotors. So we want to take our rotors off right now. Your HAL is going to keep the settings on there whether it's connected to your craft or not until you delete said part. So keep that in mind and monitor your crafts. Also, something I just thought of is when I rotate this to vertical, that's not going to work right because you lift it up, it's now pushing. Okay, so let's fix this real quick. Another thing you can do here, since we're going this way, you can set this to not allow full rotation. Uncheck that, and now you can drag this or type this to 0. So now just to demo that, that's going to give us this here, and then as we rotate, we just want to go to 90. So you can come here, set that to 90, and now as you rotate, boom, that's all you get. I'm going to try to center this directly on my center of mass like I should have. Because that's where we're going to be trying to lift directly from. This dot on the side is very important in this instance because it lets you kind of hone in on that. Once again, let's get this set here. Let's get this set over here to 7, which I'm pretty sure I can. If I am okay with all of that, I'm probably just going to start setting it to 7 and in the hangar and not dealing with it anymore. So we need to go to about 3.6. There we go, 4.3. It's still slightly off, but it's not that bad. Our electric use is beautiful still. Not a lot of usage going on there. And we're just going to rotate everything in a few seconds. Matter of fact, we can go full speed here. And then commit to the rotation, and down we go. Oh, my god. Okay, maybe not so much. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Let's show you how I should have done that. We're gonna go full speed here. And now we can gently start to bring ourselves forward until our vertical speed drops a bit. And then as we start to go more and more forward, wrong button, you'll see it's going to allow us to actually pick up more and more speed going forward, and so we can actually commit more and more to there. A nice gentle adjustment is a lot better than a sudden one. So there you go, there's your craft. It is currently flying stable, gaining power, and we're gaining altitude, gaining some speed. Needs to shift a bit forward with those propellers, and that would allow me to have better control. But yeah, that is basically it. It's currently looking like it's not even spinning anywhere. That's awesome. So there you have it. That's how you can build a nice quick propeller craft using dual propellers. Even with a Kerbal on board, you can actually get these things working really well, and actually have a craft that flies really well, and you can use as a nice little scout craft. Right now we are still going down. I really need to adjust this propellers to the propeller position on this craft, but anyhow, it's almost balanced perfectly, almost. But for now, it's your boy Jatwan. I'm gonna get on out of here, and we have our little mini spray again. It's your boy Jatwan. I'm out. Peace. I just like how nice and mini and stable it is. It is really cute, and we still have enough RTG power to get ourselves going really well. That is awesome.